forward to a team like Yolo and Pray that's having one heck of a day to put on the offense that's got them to this point and really test ARG and say you deserve to be here. So let's see how it shakes out.
We'll see if ARG can continue their lower bracket run. Full Yolo and Pray looking to stop it right here. An incredible pinch, but blocked by Mirrorwing. And Mirrorwing wins one challenge and giving way now for Yagi. Yagi's shot high. ClayX able to pick up the save. Followed up, but Full Yolo and Pray putting on early pressure. Zaffair just off the backboard, met by Mark by 8, caught out by Mirrorwing, looking for a goal, and blocked away.
And Mirroring really was in charge of buying time there off that unfortunate double commit because it really has allowed a big gap to appear in that midfield line. Thankfully, they were able to continue battling for possession, but that double commit threw off the rotation just enough that ARG now get their first chance on offense of the game, and it starts off with a banger from the sidewall from the midfield line, and it actually found its way all the way to the back.
Well, GCR put in some work in the last game, does so here again, quickly back up to his bounce off the sidewall. Yagi caught a little too far up, did not expect the power coming out of that shot, tried to make a touch, couldn't do it.
Well, what a way to start for ARG. I mean, I was saying I want to see how you do on defense, and they did just well enough, and then one touch and into the back of the net. Can't ask for a much better start than that, but they do find themselves again on defense after the kickoff immediately, and we'll see how they handle this.
That touch out. I think a quick pass over for Full Yolo and Pray. Mirrorwing throwing it out and keeping it in front of the box, up high for it. Off the backboard, Yagi looking for off the touch from Zaffair. It's cleared away.
And Yagi was really trying to just keep the offense going there because Zaffair made a great touch on that ball, but unfortunately just didn't respect the fact that he was beat and he could have caught the clear, but a nice boost steal in the corner as well will maybe blunt the sword a little bit of ARG here as they push onto the orange side.
Mirrorwing wins the challenge as he gets sent now to wherever it is the cars go when they get demoed, but Mark by 8 has a free ball here. The shot on target. In it goes. ARG a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, Yagi here. He just got demoed to the midfield, and he respawns on the opposite side of the play, and he tries to get back. He really does, but that's just a well-placed ball right towards the middle, not to the far post. Plenty of speed, and Yagi just couldn't get there fast enough.
So the biggest question for the desk and really us is ARG, you come out. What do you do on offense? And it's 2 quick goals off of 4 shots early. Off of some good challenges, and Full Yolo and Pray maybe just being a little too far up on some of the Mirrorwing. Gets one back though, carries it to the top of the net.
He's saying, what do you do if you're ARG, but now you just get an instant one right back. ClayX a little bit beat, and Mark by 8 on the rotate back. Had plenty of boost, but it was just a little too late. Pretty much the exact same situation that Yagi found himself in, except he didn't get demoed. He was just a little too slow on the rotate back, and he was going full speed too. All ClayX had to do was get any touch on that ball, and he would have had enough time to find himself safely in net to make the play.
Ooh, and it was a good idea by Mirrorwing. He just killed the ball in midair, setting up Yagi for an opportunity. It was blocked. It does keep Full Yolo and Pray in possession. ClayX forcing it out to the side, but getting the corner boost and the ball. A ton of value here for Zaffair, forcing Mark by 8 just to get a touch out to the corner. Yagi pressing, Mirrorwing hunting for it up high.
Wow.
Is Zaffair. Right now, Full Yolo and Pray are making ARG work on defense.
They're absolutely living up to their name, that is for sure. They are willing to challenge anything that ARG try and clear away from pretty much anywhere on the pitch, it feels like. And a huge miss from GCR. And ClayX will have to give the ball to Zaffair, and a pre-jump from Yagi just trying to beat the challenge to it. And I love it. That's the aggression that'll really make the defense think twice. But ClayX on the transition from GCR puts one into the lower left-hand corner. The lead is 2.
Yeah, this time it really kills them just because everyone was really far up on offense for Full Yolo and Pray. Zaffair was the third man, pushed up in the attacking third. That ball cleared out. He was trying to control the midfield boost as well to get the ball. He couldn't do it. Everyone was racing back on Full Yolo and Pray, and it can be hard when you have 3 cars barreling down on you while you're trying to get back set on the line. So good job by Full Yolo and Pray to get that goal. Or excuse me, ARG to get that goal. That shot knocked away for now. GCR kicks it out to Mark by 8.
Wow. Mirrorwing really trying to force that challenge, and it's put his teammate in a bad spot on defense, and 1-2 tap, back wall, and off the crossbar.
And now Mirrorwing pushing his team out of the way. Just miscommunication right now. Full Yolo and Pray, that's patented panic on defense, and it costs them a goal. ARG making them pay.
Cost them a goal is absolutely right. This is all just a clean catch from Mark by 8. He even hits that ball with that power slide. It's just a perfectly executed catch, really, by Mark by 8. That's just technical proficiency.
And so, for Full Yolo and Pray, we talk about that aggressive play style and how, yes, they are true to their namesake. And while it can be fun and it can really work for a team, it's a double-edged sword. And they're getting the wrong end of the sword right now.
Very much so. The pointy side, if you will.
And it hurts. That blocked by GCR. And we saw ARG's defense against May Contain Nuts. We know they're capable of playing solid defense. The big question was offense, and maybe Gibbs is still having questions about ARG's offense just based on how they're playing.
Oh no!
Mirrorwing falls in front of the ball.
It was so pretty,
and it just no good.
That is one thing that Full Yolo and Pray have done expertly well, as ClayX able to put that one. Game number 1 will be well out of reach, just a miss clear off the back wall, but Full Yolo and Pray, I mean, the offense, it really is, the namesake says it all. It is challenge everything, get in their face. If you win, they put themselves in great positions. And you got to give credit to ARG, because I didn't personally feel like they were particularly tested on defense in their previous series. But here against Full Yolo and Pray, they got exactly what was advertised.
Absolutely. I mean, 8 shots on net for Full Yolo and Pray, but 5 saves for ARG, up to the task. ClayX almost just slamming that on the ground. And again, for Full Yolo and Pray, all for me is just that third man, just a little bit farther back. You understand you want to try to force the challenge, really make ARG feel the pressure on offense, but when you give up that many goals, you have to be able to adjust in game 2 and and have a more measured approach on the offensive end.
Well, there's a couple ways that you approach it. One, obviously, yes, you can play further back, but what does that allow? It allows more space in the midfield. It's easier to find a clear into space and allow you to relieve pressure. Full Yolo and Pray are taking the other option, which is, I feel, the more difficult one, which is you play as aggressive as you can and you know you'll have time to recover. But it puts a lot more pressure on you to make the proper decision in every scenario. And Full Yolo and Pray have not always made the proper decision as that third man back. They do get beat sometimes. It puts them on a scramble and the rotate back. And that is really, if that's the style they want to go for, pressure, 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 you really do got to hone that decision making and understand exactly what you're getting yourself into when you go for a risky challenge like that.
And the aggressive game really works when you have complete pitch control. You're stealing the corner boost. You have complete control of the midfield boost. Because then even if ARG do get a challenge win on their own half, it's going to be difficult for them to follow it up just because of the lack of resources. And that's where the aggressiveness really pays off. It starts with the boost battle. If they can win that, then you can start pushing up and really starting to make our ARG sweat.
Yeah, and to be fair, they're winning a couple of nice challenges to keep the ball over on that half. The problem is, exactly, it's not full pitch control. They're not denying the resources to stop those challenges from happening. And then that second time through is where they really get into trouble. So Full Yolo and Pray fine-tune the offense just a little bit. It could be much closer. And, of course, ARG on offense, they really did just press them into a couple of tough spots, and they just broke down a little bit. That experience paying dividends for ARG, and Full Yolo and Pray maybe not used to the pressure.
And ARG, they got a lot of quick goals as well, but when there was pressure from ARG on offense, we saw, in particular, I'm thinking back to when Mirrorwing, it just panicked on defense and knocked both of his teammates out of the way of the ball, which led to Mark by 8 scoring, and that was earlier when really they were still in contention to win that first game. And so ARG off the kickoff already. A shot just off the crossbar. Not a good touch from Yagi. Marked by 8 right in front of him. ClayX off the backboard. Can't do it. Follow-up is there.
Perfect shot.
GCR. Great shot to the left. 1-0.
So, yes, this is ClayX and GCR, but it's all about how Mark by 8 actually played that challenge out of the midfield. There was a dribble coming at him. He gave up the space, went towards the midfield line to grab the resources, forced the option out of the guy on the dribble because he thought a challenge was coming. And then he just said, you just made the wrong play because you didn't think I was going to just let you have the ball. So that was just great mind games out of the midfield from Mark by 8 to get that play an opportunity.
Oh, ClayX, he goes under one. He almost gets the goal. Mark by 8, he can't score. It's knocked away. Zafir finally gets the ball out of harm's way. Off the kickoff, ClayX made the most of it. They couldn't score, but they still have possession. ClayX,
oh dear,
went for the bump, didn't get it, and went for the bump only because he missed the ball.
But Mark by 8 again, just trying to continue the pressure, and a free ball here for Mirror Wing. Transition for free as well as they get through ClayX as he just straight up missed the ball.
And full Yolo and Pray, Yagi, he couldn't find another challenge. Both teammates, after Yagi went up, buying them some time. And Yagi just punts it away. He has
awareness.
He has a teammate down on the left side of the pitch.
Yeah, really, what helps there is your teammate saying I'm left, or any communication. As ClayX is put it on a plate for a Mark by 8, and that is an easy one.
Absolutely. Just a lob up. Mark by 8 stays with it, really making Mirror Wing guess what exactly is going to happen with that play. Force him to hesitate for just a half second. That's all it took for that goal to go in. And ClayX getting another one. ARG, 2 early goals again.
And again, Mark by 8, the decision-making in the midfield. It would have been so easy for him to catch that pass from GCR and just punch that ball into the corner or off the back wall. And he said, no, let's keep it away from the defenders. Just a light chip up is all we really need.
And a challenge right there to move his team forward. That's exactly what we saw with Mark by 8 against May Contain Nuts. And while, yes, the majority of their goals were off of whiffs, Mark by 8, he still do this. That exactly right there. Cuts off the transition in midfield and gives your team an opportunity to score.
Well, that's what we were talking about. What's the difference for full Yolo and Pray? The decision-making out of the midfield. Who's winning? Mark by 8, he's the guy with the plan right now in the midfield line. No one has outplayed him yet in this series.
Drawing up everything in the playbook right now for ARG. And the press continues. 8 shots in the first half of this game for ARG. 2 for full Yolo and Pray. GCR stays with it. Can he get back to this in time? Actually goes under, leaves it for ClayX. He almost gets it up.
Oh, goodbye.
Mark by 8. Oh, he's blocked by Yagi. And a third goal this early. You still feel like may have been the death knell for full Yolo and Pray, but they hang on.
I speak too soon. I said goodbye because I thought Yagi had no chance in that one, but a big miss from everybody puts the ball at the top of the blue box. And fortunately enough, ARG get off the hook in a tough spot. Marked by 8 towards the net, just to force a tough save as GCR went for the demo. And again, pressing our ARG as Mirror Wing and Zafir, they have great challenges on offense, but winning them when they're on defense has proved quite difficult against this ARG squad, as there's a nice demo to open up a hole, and again, Yagi makes a crazy save, but it's not enough. The follow-through from ClayX, he can't get it to safety. Hero's effort from Yagi both times, but not enough.
This is what we're talking about pitch control. All 3 players on full Yolo and Pray were sitting on 0 boost for the last 10 seconds of that sequence. With no resources, you can't get the clear you want. ARG can press as much as they want, and they can play the game that full Yolo and Pray want to play there, and it nets a 3-goal lead. Excellent boost deny from ARG.
And a nice bump from Zafir, or on Zafir, to really force Yagi to make a great touch on that ball. And to be fair, he absolutely has. And here's pressure as saved off the own post from ClayX, an awkward position to be in. And just mechanical brilliance to get it out, but Zafir had an open net on the right-hand side, and he wanted to make sure he got out away from the defenders. Just a little too much on it.
Yeah, tough angle with such a tight window, but like you said, Achieves, that's one in this situation. It's got to be on target. Marked by 8, looking for GCR. Can't quite get up to it. And it is knocked away. ClayX finds a challenge, and Marked by 8 right next to him to follow it through. Does he have a chance? Well, Zafir is there. With less than a minute to go, a comfortable 3-goal lead, and we're looking at 13 shots on net versus 4.
Yeah, that is the... I said full Yolo and Pray need to tune it up on offense. Well, they didn't even get a chance to play offense this game because Marked by 8 was an absolute madman on the line, as well the speed from ClayX and GCR coming back, as here's the first real chance for full Yolo and Pray. It's not going to make a difference with only 32 left. It's possible, but you're going to need one off the kickoff.
And full Yolo and Pray have constantly gone for this. And someone push it in the corner, try to get a good rebound off the back wall, make it tight, and have your second man be tight
Right
with
there.
you and try to score. And they've gotten close a couple of times. This time, they actually execute. They don't hit the post, they score. And that's what you like to see, even if they can't pull out the win here in game number 2. Heading into game 3, it can be a positive going forward.
Well, we'll see if they can get one back here. But again, that midfield line is just proven an absolute brick wall for ARG, as they will put in a 4th, and that will definitely put game number 2 out of reach. But you were talking a little bit about it, Jorby. Full Yolo and Pray. Full Yolo and Pray. It's actually a bit more of a mouthful than you might imagine, but it really is. They play so aggressive and so close to one another on that offensive third. And to be fair, they do make some solid challenges over there, as if Mirror Wing had found that one, it would have probably been into the back of the net. But either way, the defense believed him, and it will slide through off the kickoff.
Yeah, and I just feel like for Full Yolo and Pray, while the first half really was not pretty, and ARG got
Mark
those,
hit it.
got those quick goals. At the latter half of the game, after the 4 shots on net, Full Yolo and Pray looking at a total of 6 right now, and a couple of opportunities that really they were their own worst enemy on, and they could have completed if they just had the ball on target. So it's just those, if they make those minor adjustments, they can continue to play this aggressive game that they want to play. But again, it's difficult. ARG have shut this down for 80% of the game.
Even still, minor adjustments, I think ARG still win that game. I think they absolutely played the better game there in game number 2. And we're going to take a look at the defense from ARG just a little bit to get an idea of how it was so good in that midfield line. And it really was all just a couple of saves on the line early on, and Mark by 8 was just a monster everywhere on the pitch. And that's a quality pass from ARG, and that's one that, fine adjustment, that gets them into the back of the net for sure. But even still, the lead was already 3 because of all that great pressure being applied by Mark by 8 in the midfield line. And he's the total unsung hero. He's got 7 shots on net, 2 assists, and then no goals and no saves, and only 270 points to his name. But he was an absolute monster in the midfield.
Yeah, Full Yolo and Pray, again, if you want to play this aggressive game, you can't give up these early goals. These early goals force you to have to play a different way. You have to play catch-up. When you're playing catch-up, that's where even more mistakes come out because you're trying to force the issue.
Yeah.
You're forcing challenges in places you wouldn't normally make that challenge.
Now, the funny thing is I don't think that matters too much to Full Yolo and Pray.
They don't care.
They'll go for it anyway.
Whatever.
So
just, you know what? Full Yolo and Pray, hit the shot.
Do your thing.
And then try to make this and take it to a game 4.
Yeah.
This is it for them.
This is it for them.
No more lives. Their tournament lives on the line right now. And ARG, well, they've answered the call. There was some skepticism on the desk, and they have absolutely stepped up and answered it. Granted, the number 1 seed may contain nuts. Full Yolo and Pray, a much lower seed, but you got to play the cards that you're handed. And ARG have done that. They've done it excellently.
Whoa, a little bit of a gap, as GCR had just enough room. Yagi denying that midfield boost. Fairly important because nobody from ARG really has the resources to go and challenge, and Yagi just continues to make some solid touches. And here's really where the offense from Full Yolo and Pray, they'll be right on top of this one. But Mirror Wing, aggressive challenge. He was beat to that ball as he was back grabbing, boosted. How does it find its way into the back of the net? Mirror Wing, I thought they were going to be right out on the midfield line. He didn't have any boost to work with. He actually still got the challenge, but it was Yagi who was just a little bit too far forward, just didn't think one was going to come right at him, and just right over his head.
So ARG, the first goal again early. Full Yolo and Pray cannot stop the early offensive output. Another off the post for ClayX, sniping from the right side. It's 2-0 in the first minute.
And this is just a huge challenge off the kickoff coming out of the midfield. And again, Yagi, what are you going to do?
Nothing.
But of course it was Mark by 8 winning that challenge.
Yeah.
I mean, the dude's a monster.
There's nothing more you can write home about the guy. He's been so consistent in his gameplay. The catalyst for ARG to continue this lower bracket run. You have a 2-goal lead in a game 3 where you're looking to move on. And you got to be feeling yourself right now. If you're ARG, you feel like you can do no wrong, and they really haven't for the most part. Off the back wall, looking for another.
Man.
PlayX puts it home. 3-0. ARG dominated.
And Full Yolo and Pray, they literally sat there and watched this happen. I mean, there was nobody challenging in the midfield, so they get the free pass up to the sidewall. And then they get the follow-up touch again, and still nobody goes over because it's over the head of the first guy, and the guy in the net's waiting for the guy in front of him to do something, and just nobody does anything, and then they got scored on.
It's almost the exact opposite of what they were doing before, completely having faith that their teammate in front of them was just going to win the challenge outright, and so push forward because of it, and then catch themselves out of position, and ARG almost getting a fourth goal, but it is denied this time by Yagi. The good news for full Yolo and Pray is that you have 3 minutes and 35 seconds.
You got time
to get back into this.
You do got time, and it really does have to start with gaining possession and how you're approaching the ball on these challenges, because Mirror Wing, yeah, you can try and use all your boost to get to that, but ClayX, one way or the other, is still just waiting for you to even make an attempt, and he'll just do whatever you want, whatever he can, because you're bringing the ball right to him.
And full Yolo and Pray aren't in a position to waste these resources. Everyone's sitting on 25 boost or lower, finally picking up a couple of pads with Mirror Wing, but now he's out of boost as well, and that's what happens right here. The weak clears, the double commits. You start to panic, feeling like every shot will be the one that goes into the net.
Oh,
Mark single touch, look at working the edge, but Mark by 8 denies full Yolo and Pray the opportunity.
And Mark by 8 actually gave that one a little bit to Zafair, because he went out to the corner to grab that boost, and I don't think Zafair was expecting to just be handed a free shot, because if he saw that cut immediately, he would have just went right around him and drove it into the net. And just going for that boost definitely caused him to do a bit of a double take, and that was all the time that Mark by 8 needed to make a great stop.
Same story as the last two games. In the first half, 5 shots from ARG, only 2 from full Yolo and Pray. Here's a flick up, and he gets the goal. Mirror Wing finally getting full Yolo and Pray back into the game.
They finally have just enough space. They beat the first defender, and again, Mark by 8, he's been so good on defense. He's willing to allow Mirror Wing a chance to dribble, but sometimes you guess wrong, and you gave him a little bit more than you could chew, and Mirror Wing a perfect flick to the upper 90.
And you started the clock early enough here when you scored to really feel like you have a chance to fight back in game 3. But off the kickoff, Mark by 8 losing the challenge against Mirror Wing, catching it out, the quick pass is Zafair, trying to slip it under ClayX. ClayX found the challenge.
Oh, what a fake.
Can't get it against Yagi. It is cleared away by Mark by 8.
And Mirror Wing was not expecting that fake from Yagi as well. He thought a touch was going to be try and muscle through, but Zafair double commit for the offense of full Yolo and Pray, and that will allow a massive hole in the midfield line. Great possession-based play from Mirror Wing to try and back pass it, but they can't hang on to it. Pass across for ClayX, and it'll be time wasting here.
Zafair feeling the pressure in his face. ClayX is going to score on top of it. It all started from the opposite half of the field in midfield.
Was that double commit?
It was the double commit, and all Mark by 8 had to do was just throw it over to ClayX. Everybody on full Yolo and Pray, they were retreating, trying to get boost. They had overcommitted on the play. There was no midfield boost available because ARG had already taken it.
Well, that's what happens when you double commit on the offense. It really does allow a free transition opportunity, because you get those 2 people who have to race all the way back, and Zafair on the line just couldn't get in front of it. And then I believe it was Yagi on the line behind him. Just couldn't deal with the shot to the back post. It's just perfect transition from ARG, and the clean finish to the right part of the net is all you really need at that point. Just beat the last man, and you'll make everybody else scramble.
Mirror Wing controlling it away. It's a double commit here by ARG. Not a lot of time for full Yolo and Pray to come back from another 3-goal deficit, and they have to find the ball. GCR, that will probably do it. 5-1. ARG outscoring by a large margin.
That's definitely going to do it. Yagi was geared up to go make a tough save at the top of the net, maybe defend a backboard touch, and boy did he guess wrong. He got the sinker right into the middle of the net.
And full Yolo and Pray, for this team making the kind of run that they have to get this close in the 40s for their seeding, to be able to get this far. ARG, the number 4 seed, just too tall of an order to go against. And give credit to ARG, may contain nuts. You may have had your doubts at home as well about this ARG squad after that game. There wasn't a lot of offensive output, but they've scored, 12 goals? 12 goals in this series? Against the
14
Yolo and Pray. 14 goals and a 15th by Mark by 8. Who else to get the 6th?
And Mark by 8 has absolutely been the standout guy for me this entire series, always making the right decision. And why not give him the old press X to flip your car goal? Leap X is popping off, because that was amazing.
You love to see
Unfortunate that it happened in such a low-stakes scenario, because it was actually filthy.
And he probably wouldn't have went for it like that if it was a higher stakes situation. You get those neat little nuggets in games like this.
That's one you throw in the montage.
Absolutely. And double commit by full YOLO Pray does not matter as time expires. Maybe picking up another goal for ARG. This isn't it for them. This is
still one more.
One more to go for ARG to qualify. It has been a long day for this team, but if you wanted a pick-me-up, a boost, heading into your final game of the day, how about this? A just absolute monster performance marked by 8. We talked about him left and right in both of the games that we've seen him in so far. He's done a great job really being the on-field leader for this team, generating so many chances for ARG, and really just brought it to full YOLO and Pray.
Yeah, absolute monster defense in the midfield by Mark by 8 all series long, and ClayX and GCR, quality job on offense, scoring all the opportunities that Mark by 8 was able to generate, and the opportunities that they gave each other. It really was ARG's offense. It wasn't the misses. That was just quality this time around, ARG, so well done.
And they're trying still, ARG, to right the wrong that happened in the upper bracket that sent them down early. And like we said, one more match for them. We'll have that very shortly. We got a couple more games for you, a couple more spots open in the rival series. You don't want to miss it. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after the break.